a couple blocks, a blanket, a couple tune-up balls, maybe a strap. We will have a long Shavasana. You're like, everything, yes. Yeah, we'll have a long, though, if you like any props for bolsters, blankets. We have chairs. So much for being here. I am so grateful to be subbing this class for my dear friend and teacher, Mariel. If we don't know each other, I've been here at the studio for, I can't believe I'm saying this, 10 years. I like don't know if I've been anywhere for 10 years, but I've been here. I know. Don't clap. What am I supposed to do when you clap? I've been here for a minute, but I haven't been on the regular schedule because I have been starting a flower farm. And turns out that takes some energy and space. So I'm really grateful for the times that I get to pop back in and sub and say hello. This is Melissa, who is subs Mariel's class, and thank you. If you're on the live stream, thanks Melissa, because that's the only reason we have live stream today. And we'll be on the mat, off the mat, moving around a little bit. Hands-on adjustments. I will always ask first. Anything but an enthusiastic yes is a no. I don't like to touch people who don't want to be touched, so please don't be shy. But just because I haven't seen some of you in a while, there may be some hands-on adjustments if that's desired and consented to. And adjustments, not really adjustments, just, hands-on assists. Anything you need out of your practice today other than a long Shavasana? A little neck stuff. A little upper back. This part of the world, are you carrying anything heavy? Post-festival, just the state of the world. I think we are all, if we are awake and if we are conscious, probably carrying something heavy today. And that's okay. That's what this place is for. I don't want to talk too much in the beginning, but I did have it's actually never happened to me in my 10 years of yoga teaching, where I had something happen where I was like, oh, maybe that is what is like meant to be taught in this moment exactly. I woke up early and was in my bed and was doing my like little journaling and like writing my notes. They look completely unhinged, but my little notes for what would be maybe doing today. And I had this thought, and I already made this joke. I thought I was being so brilliant in this moment, where I had a thought where I was like, you know what, I've been thinking about balance a lot. We're in the weird time, not just globally, but we're in the weird time seasonally. In Ayurveda or in the Vedic tradition, it's known as a Ritu Sandhi, the transition point between the seasons, yeah? And maybe we're feeling it that like we're leaving summer, maybe trying to savor some of the warm days that we didn't quite have today. And then we're also, we can make space. Maybe in this row, can we like make a little, just get a couple pokes in the back row or the second to back row to just get a little closer. South Philly row home style. But we're in this transition period, and in the Vedic tradition where yoga comes from, or some of yoga comes from, it's known as a time of progress and also a time of vulnerability. Things, as the old season is dissolving and dying and returning back to the earth, and the new season is being bloomed, there is an instability inherent that is there. So I was thinking and have been thinking a lot about what it means to create harmony in that moment, in the moments where things feel wild and ungrounded. It feels wild to even think about harmony in a time like this, but maybe that's the thing that we need to build more of. And I was thinking a lot about balance, and I had this moment, and I was like, oh my God, this is brilliant. That balance isn't this thing that you hold on to and grab once. It's really an awareful response to being fully in the moment and accepting what is. It's a conversation, it's a relationship. And I had that thought, and then I went outside to go do some things and grab some stuff from my car and saw that my car window was broken. I know, right? But like, how funny that I have this moment of like, oh my gosh, balance and this awareful response. I'm like, now I gotta talk to the police before 10 a.m. in the morning. And then I had to like listen to what I said. Isn't that the worst? When you know the thing, and then you have to do it? Ugh. But thankfully, this practice gives us a couple tools, a couple avenues, a couple ways into that, to practice that on the mat in our little alchemical lab that this is, to practice what happens when the downward spiral wants to happen. Because, oh my gosh, the gravity of a downward spiral, right? Ooh. And let me tell you, it was at like 9:15, and this class is at 10:30, and my husband was like, I think you need to call the police. And I was like, who has time for that right now? So that was a downward spiral moment. And I also want to name just like the privilege of having like an emergency savings and not having to like worry about like the basic needs of it all. That makes it a little bit easier, and that's okay. But there's still a moment where there could be a downward spiral, yeah? But we're in a season where the air, the ether, is really rising up. If you know like Ayurveda and stuff, like that's that Vata energy, which sometimes can create some feeling of being frantic or all over the place or dispersed. But in its best form, it is creativity. It is an upward spiral. It's taking from earth to heaven what we wish to see, almost like a prayer. So as we move through our practice today, there will be some moments of on purpose instability. There will be some shaky ground. And we will have the breath, and we will have our props, and we'll have each other, and we'll have Mariel's fire playlist, because I didn't make one for today, to guide us through. Okay? Not a practice of perfection, nor obligation, invitation and observation, and maybe a little upward spiraling. So in whatever way feels good for you to sit, please do. Or if you want to lay down, we'll just take a few minutes. There's going to be a lot of that to center. If you don't have anything under your hips, you might place a blanket, a bolster, a block. If you're lying on the ground, you might bend your knees, feet flat on the floor. That just helps the opening of the pelvis and the opening of the rib cage to look a little more at one another so that your spine is a little more neutral and will give you a little more access to the breath in its fullness. But wherever you are, however you are, start to feel the places where you are connected to the earth. The earth, who is truly one of our oldest ancestors. Along with the sun and the moon and the stars, the earth, who is the place that connects us from foundation to foundation. Feel the parts of you connected to this earth right now. And as you feel the earth rise to meet you, is there something somewhere that you could let soften into the earth? Almost like the way water softens dry soil, spreads and grounds and stabilizes. And then you could feel the air that's all around you. Maybe even start to notice the difference of the temperature of the air and the temperature of your skin. Where on this gross and physical level, you end and air begins and air ends and you begin. Find yourself here. In sensing the air, you might also sense the expansiveness, the sky above. The place where, with a awareful response, you might spiral towards, upward. And either with your eyes softly open or softly closed, up to you. You can start to notice the breath moving in you. You might notice the breath a little cooler than the skin of your nose as you breathe in through your nostrils, down, back, and wide, into your very depths. And as you exhale, follow the breath as it moves up and through. A few times like this, just observing your breath as it is, not forcing or changing or being rigid. But in that attitude of observation and invitation, what does your breath want to tell you now? The breath is what takes you innately to the heart first. So the heart can inform the mind, so that your mind can enliven and illuminate your body. What does the breath want to offer you here? And if you like to expand into your breath, you might invite your next inhalation down into the lower lobes of your lungs, into the back of your body, into parts of yourselves that can't be seen but most certainly can be felt. And as you exhale, really press all the air through, up, and out, returning this air, this prana, this breath back to earth. Just to do it all over again, your inhale. That moment of fullness before your exhale, before the moment of emptiness, a few more times like that. Knowing as you breathe, we breathe. You can start to gather your hands in front of your heart center, right palm pressing into left, left palm pressing into right. And as your fingertips touch, let there be a little space between your two palms. Doesn't have to be a lot. Maybe just enough for a breath of air. So that you can place your heart and breath before you as a guide. As we prepare to move and stretch and engage body, mind, spirit, and beyond here in this practice of yoga. And for whatever else is to come. We'll invoke this class with the sound of one Om, the sound the universe made as it came into being. Feel free to sit and bathe in vibration or join in. We'll take an exhale, an inhale, and then join our voices for Om. So your next breath in, let it fill. Your next breath out, let it go. Next inhale in for Om. Out of your heart, your center, yourself, each other, keeping in a connection to the earth, to the air, to your breath, to your heart. Slowly begin to blink open and widen your eyes. Tabletop. All fours. Oh my goodness, I am chatty, Kathy. I figured if anyone was really missing Mariel, her playlist might be enough to get that vibe back going when I find it. As you set up in your tabletop position, hi. See that your wrists are underneath your shoulders or a little bit ahead. We have a tendency to cut ourselves a little short here in this pose. Knees underneath your hips or a little bit behind. Take up a little more space. Now again, feel all of the places where you are connected to the earth. Hands, knees, toes. Spread your hands wide like the rays of the sun. And most of y'all could take your hands like a quarter handprint, half handprint wider. Yes, that's the way. Press hands, knees, toes down into the earth so much so you feel your chest almost lift away from the ground. Keep that to your breath, an awareful response to the moment. Your next inhale down and wide. Your next exhale, complete up and out. Another one like that, your inhale. Your conscious, aware exhale. Your next inhale. Your ears get long as you exhale, turn inward, come into cat pose. Wait for your breath, let it lead the way. Inhale, belly drop. Your exhale to round. Your inhale to arch. Linking breath and movement here. And maybe you soften your gaze or close your eyes or in your own way turn inward. Notice what your body is calling for. Maybe there's some organic movements like one shoulder, one hip away from each other. Maybe some wiggles side to side. Maybe some puppy poses and back, but let the movement come from inside out. Oh, we're recording. You're good to be there, just know.
That's the option.
You can go like right there. Well, it's only one person. But I will never not be amazed. I will never not be grateful for this practice where we actually start by turning towards the darkness, closing our eyes, going inward towards what others might not be so inclined to attend to. But it's beautiful, right? We're getting those short days. It kind of sucks, sorry. But the darkness is where things gestate. Oh my gosh, think about all the destruction and creation and growing a human inside. I'm sure that's unstabilizing in a way. So as you go inward, you can stay with your more organic movement, or come back to tabletop position. Walk your hands 3 handprints out in front of you. Press your hands down, lift your armpits up, and as you exhale, shift your hips back, puppy pose, quarter dog. If there's ever a time we're in downward facing dog and you don't want to be there, know that this quarter dog is always here for you, along with tabletop, child's pose, or any other pose that base to you. As you press your hands down, lift your armpits up. Hug your hands towards one another. Feel energy draw from earth through your arms to the place right in between your shoulder blades, the back of your heart. From that place, press down and forward. Get longer from fingertips to armpits, armpits to hips. Take an inhale through your nose. Exhale, let it go. Let the back of your heart soften towards the front. Claw your fingertips down. Inhale, ripple forward. Plank on your knees. Exhale, shift your hips back, puppy pose. Back flow a few times. Inhale forward. Plank on your knees or knees lifted. Exhale back, puppy or downward facing dog. A lot of y'all do know me, so you have heard me say this many times, but if you don't, I say or and maybe a lot when I teach. And it's not usually because I'm confused, but it's more so an invitation to say or not or maybe not in your head or out loud. I've had both happen. It doesn't faze me. But it is an invitation to take what you need, leave what you don't. The next time you inhale, come forward, plank with your knees lifted or knees lowered. Press hands, knees, toes into the earth so much so you feel your heart lift away. Keep that sitting bones towards heels. Lower all the way down onto the mat. Exhale. Exhale, lower. And slide your shoulders over your wrists firm, the muscles in your hug. Into back body. Option to stay. Option as you exhale, elbow towards knee. Exhale. And long behind, toes curled under, press down. I think our calves are terribly undertended too. Shoulders over wrist, hug leg towards the midline, and then inhale, left heel in line with hip. Little shaky ground. Where'd your breath go? Right arm up or not. As you extend through heel and fingertips, on your exhale, curl in. As you inhale, extend. Twice more. After that third time where you lose count, one breath to get long. Hands and knees to mat. An inch or two, curl your toes under. Hips up and back, downward facing. Bend your knees in this first downward facing. Maybe pedal your feet side to side. It's the things that natural. A little flowy, a little wiggly. If we're going to get thrown off center by life and may as well make it a dance. Bend your knees a lot. Press your hands down and forward into the earth. Lift your hands back towards the sky. Start to press your thighs back. Let your heels be. And inhale through your nose. Exhale, maybe sigh it out. Close your lips, breath it in and out through your nose. Bend your knees a lot. Start to look forward. Start to walk forward. Make it all of your mat. That's the way. If your blocks aren't framing the front of your mat, that might be a good idea. Ground down into both feet. Inhale, reach both arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. A moment to simply feel your heartbeat. To remember your breathing. We got a little warmer already? Cool. Your next inhale, both arms all the way up. Exhale, bend in your legs, hinge at the hips, fold. Fingertips can come onto blocks. If the floor is far away, you can use any of the three heights to bring it closer to you. Step your left leg long behind you, find your lunge. Left hand stays down on the block or hand to right hip, wrap your right hip back. Inhale, get long. As you exhale, start to turn your heart towards the right. That's the way. Notice if your left shoulder rolled down and forward on you, what does it feel like to take that up and back? Take your right shoulder up and back, and then yes, right finger. With that, hug your legs towards one another like you're gonna put a wrinkle in the. Create your own stability here in an unstable place. And then as you exhale, press back into your legs, reach through the crown of the head, lean back over your heart. Your next inhale, untwist, hold on to both blocks, take them inside your front leg. Watch the head to butt ratio as you walk to the left, wide-legged forward fold, facing the flat wall. Like I said, South Philly row home style. You know, like there's always that one that's like, the foundation's like, a little bit. That's you. As you inhale, get long. As you exhale, bow and Fun fact, an inversion here. Your head is below your hips. And inversions are those moments in our relationship to gravity. In any form. See what you find here. And then come back to a lunge at the top of your mat. Walk your blocks to the top. See that your feet are hip width distance apart. Option to keep fingertips on the earth or option to reach both arms overhead. Right hand to left wrist. Hug your back leg forward. Inhale, get long. Exhale, side bend up and over to the right. And from your belly button, can you press back through your inner left heel as you draw your left ribs back, shoulders back, head back. Inhale through center. Press your right foot down, drag it back, feel the back of your right leg light up. And then on your next exhale, step forward, left knee to chest, left foot to mat, chair pose, sit low. Both feet on the ground. Knees and toes face straight ahead-ish. Hands can always come to thighs or cactus if that's better for where you are in this moment. Breathe. Your next inhale, rise tall. Exhale, bow. Maybe nod your head yes for a moment. Close your jaw. Put yourself on like a railroad tracks, like real hip width distance. Don't need to do it here too. Hug your legs towards one another, right hand down, left hand to hip. And wrap your left hip back. The left hip is like me when it's spring and I want it to be warmer out, just sort of like inching forward. Wrap it back, get long through the crown of head, and then exhale, twist your heart to the left. Yes. Breathe into the back of your body. Shoulders back, head back. Your next inhale, untwist. Take your blocks with you as you walk it to the right, wide-legged forward fold. Facing the other way. If you have your knees, let there be a little bend. On your inhale, lift your heart up halfway. Walk your right hand under your face. Take your left hand to your hip, or even onto your low back pelvis. So just see what's going on back there. Hug your legs towards center. Inhale, get long. Exhale, start to twist your heart to the left. Now, are you turning more than twisting? What does it feel like? It's a little to the right. Keep a from hips down, and then from hips up, get long and lighter. And then spiral your heart towards the front of the room. Fingertips to the sky, maybe not. Your inhale, untwist, left hand, right hand onto the back of the waist. Hug your legs towards center. Inhale, get long. Exhale, twist heart to the right. Spiral your heart to the right. Like your left leg towards the back of the room. Maybe right fingertips to the sky. Maybe not. On your next breath, untwist, right hand down to the mat. Inhale, get long. Exhale, fold in. Bow into yourself. The more we can bow to the fullness, the luminosity, the radiance, the wisdom, the more we can find that upward spiral. Start to turn your left toes to the front of the lunge. Hug your legs towards center. Inhale, rise tall. Back knee can always come to the mat anytime we're in a lunge. Left hand to right wrist. Hug your legs towards one another. And then from the hips up, get tall. If you have that tendency to let your ribs and belly go, what does it feel like to draw your ribs back? That's the way. Even left sitting bone might lengthen down. Breath in to find space. Exhale, side bend over to the left, to the flat wall, if you're left and right challenged like I am. It's all a construct. Inhale, flow through center. Hands up, or not. Press your left foot down into the mat and pull it towards the back until you feel the back of your left leg light up. Take a breath. Prepare to transition. Step all the way forward, right knee into chest. Right foot to the mat. Shake it out. Find one of your tune-up balls, and if you don't have one, you only need one, so maybe you can share with a neighbor. We're friendly here. Can I share with you? Oh, yeah. Is that okay? I just don't feel like walking over it. So take your tune-up ball, and if you have any foot or ankle, go with the one that you don't have stuff going on with. If that and then put your ball. And the great stuff about balls, which is totally fine, but the great thing I like about them is that you get to control how much pressure is in the equation, which is truly not the case in many places in life. So when you have that ability to discern the pressure, I almost said ignore. do explore the bottom of your foot. Toe itself, but that pad connected to the sole of your foot, heel on the ground. Take an inhale. Everyone take an inhale and let it go down instead of inhale, go down. Exhale, press into the two. And then go side to side from little big toe ball mound to little toe ball mound a few times. And then when you're at little toe ball mound, and as you exhale, down, little toe ball mound descend a few times. How much pressure you put on as you put weight into the center. You might lift your other foot off the ground. This always reminds me of like being a little kid in like mommy's high heels. I don't know why. And then you can put your other foot down, big toe, the heel to big toe ball mound again. And those are the places, the triangle that we made, those little corners are places where you can plug down into when you're standing on unstable ground. Center of your foot, press down, a little side to side, like you're underneath you. We're doing a little. Both feet. Eyes or close your awareness into both feet. What is it? When anywhere past the foot, soft bend in your knees, inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, bend in legs, hinge at hip fold. Forward bend, hands onto blocks at any height. Do you notice the change expanding? Somewhere else. Now bend both legs a lot. Take both hands behind your head. Wrap your elbows forward so you can just see them out of the corner. As much as and like someone had mat heels and at the back you won't move, but you might feel something. Your next inhale, press your head up into your hands, slow-mo, come all the way up to stand. Anyone feel a little something in the back of the legs with that one? Cool. Hands by your sides. Other foot onto your tune-up balls. Balls. Any questions so far? Comments, concerns, conundrums, challenges? I wanted to add another C. That's the other thing I forgot to say. Please feel free to stop, ask questions. Why would you make me do this? What's the point? All very valid and well placed. Big toe ball mound, heel on the ground, press down. Toe ball mound to little toe ball mound a few times. Our feet hold so much. And there's a little awareness, a little tending to them. We think of bless this fall season, feeling ungrounded, if that's something that resonates with you. Wouldn't it make sense to tend to the place where we connect to the earth most? Little toe ball mound to center of your heel. Onto your center of your heel as much or as little you'd like. Maybe the other foot flips off the ground. That kind of has to do with how new your tune-up balls are. The new ones are gnarly. Other foot to the ground, center of your heel, big toe ball mound a few times. And then middle of your foot, like orange side to side. And then you can get rid of your tune-up ball. Thank you so much. If we do anything else, I promise I'll get you a different one. Both feet on the ground. Hip width apart. Your next inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands through center. Slide your right hand to the hip. Start to get more weight into your right side. Bend your left leg. Left hand to reach back to find foot, pant, leg, strap. The wall's always there. Like whatever that brilliant thing I said about balance, maybe we can bring it back now. Oh, and if you don't know me, that brilliant is very not serious. Both of the legs hug towards one another. Notice if your shoulder wants to droop down, what does it feel like to take it up and back? Press your knee forward in space. Draw your ribs back. Kick your foot back. Option to take other arm overhead or not. Okay. Hand to hip. Really slow with this transition. The plan is to let go of your foot. So you might let your hand slowly slide off of your foot. See if your foot wants to hover for a second. Bend your right knee into your chest. Soft bend in your standing leg. Take it all the way back. Find your lunge. Inhale, arms up. Press your front foot down. Drag it back. Soft back bend in your back leg. Inhale, come back up. Flex your left foot. Outer ankle above knee. Sit low. Pigeon chair. Hands can come to foot and knee. Hands can come to hands can come overhead. But as you sit low, think sitting bones down. Ground down 3 points of your foot. Your next inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, foot to the mat, shake it out. Yeah, a little cat. Exhale. Roll left hand to hip. Yeah? Right hand to foot. That could have been a downward spiral. For the teachers, there are a lot of folks in here that I've worked with in teacher training before. That would have been a downward 1, 2, 2.5. The invitation to breathe. Hug in, knee forward, ribs back. Changes anything for you. Shoulder up and back. Maybe arm. We'll take the transition. Slowly start to let go of your back foot. Engage the muscles in your leg. And then bring knee up to chest. Soft bend in standing leg to slow motion. Take it back to a lunge. I know, we had the little sneaky lunge in there first. Front knee and toes face straight ahead. Sometimes they want to turn in. What does it feel like to face ahead? Soft bend in your standing leg. Come all the way up. Flex your left foot, right foot. Knee over ankle, sit low, pigeon chair, side 2. And how do you talk to yourself in these moments? When a little balance might be required or invited? A slower breath in and out. Your next inhale, come all the way up to stand. Both feet on the ground, big breath in. Exhale, bend and let hips and hips fold. Take it all downward facing dog. Oh yeah, that guy, I forgot about him. Bend in your right leg, press your left thigh back. And then switch that. Both legs with a soft bend. Your next inhale, you could ripple forward, plank pose. Your next exhale, you could lower all the way down. Your next inhale, heart forward and up, maybe cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Your next inhale, right leg high. happen. And on your next exhale, step your right foot outside of your right hand, setting up for a lizard lunge. Knees and toes can turn out as long as they face in the same direction, maybe back knee to the earth. And as you another, spiral your left inner up and back, and almost feel like you're sticking your butt out a little. And then find your right sit. What does it feel like to down? That tension, soften into your. The tendency is to want to just kind of dump down towards to create your ability here in the places where you want to overstretch, overwork. Option right hand to thigh. Option to get long through the crown of the head and twist your heart towards your back leg. Back to find foot, pant, leg, strap, or not. On your next breath, hands down to the. I can scooch in. Okay, if I scooch in here with you. Okay. Sit on the mat, right underneath your shoulder. Spread your fingers wide down. Curl your back toes under, lift your back knee up. We'll turn the variation of side plank. Heel toe your front foot back a little bit. Turn towards the brick side of the wall. Lift your back heel up, and then come onto the outer edge of your back foot. Weird side plank. Hand to hip. I love hand to hip here because the tendency is what? Downward spiral. Can you push your hip up into your hand, almost like you're in a crescent moon shape? Maybe top arm low overhead. From hips, reach through both heels. From hips, reach through top fingertip. Gently release, hand down to the mat. Okay, questions, comments? One? That was cool. Cool. That's the first time I got that comment in 10 years. I love it. Do we need fans? Okay. Rest. Downward facing dog if it's restful for you. On your belly.
So I don't really lizard. How could we rotate?
Yeah, that's a great question. So there was a question up here. That thigh thing in lizard. Yeah? Great question. So the tendency in lizard pose is for folks to, maybe I'll go on this little X, little evil X, okay. The tendency, especially if you're more like hypermobile, if you have that tendency to overstretch, literally, figuratively, there can be this tendency to do this. As everything towards the floor, what happens is this back leg likes to turn some for certain people. So the invitation, going as far as you can go for what reason? Take this, your inner upper thigh, and you can even it. Find your inner upper thigh. Like I love hand sound because sometimes we need a reference point. When you're in a downward, it's so necessary to be like, oh my God, I'm real. This is Earth, we're okay. This thigh goes up and back, up and back, up and back. And even as you do that, you might notice hip flexor space. It gets softer. You feel the difference? Yeah, so this is hard, rigid. This is soft, more supple. But then what happens is you do this, you do this, you do this, and then this one's like, boop. You're like, that doesn't need to be there. So this side finds a little, and then you get space here. Does anyone ever get the thing where you're like this? And they're like, that sucks. Yeah, it's a combination of two things. That back thigh back, and then sitting bone down, ribs back. You get a little space there. Yeah, does that help? Cool. Of course, I said I love questions. Now I have to remember what we did, but figure it out. I think it was just plank. Yeah. So the tendency, anytime your hands are on the ground, the tendency is this. Like these little weird lobster claws. So for side plank, all of the good hand foundation, fingers super wide. First finger, thumb, little finger, down. Parallel or turned out a little bit. The other tendency inside to it in the lunge is this. Anyone ever do this? And then you're like, cool, now my shoulders are weird. Let me put all my body weight on it. We're strong, resilient beings, and also we have options. So rather than this elbow pit, the crease where it bends, turning in, notice what happens and what it feels like. Especially if you're hypermobile, the tendency is gonna, I love when I say that and everyone's, then there's just like the faces that go, is lock it out. And that is it the most like supple, bend but not break form of stability? Up to you to decide. The invitation is once your hand is on the ground, claw fingertips, this lights up. And then when the arm can go towards straight, and then you can actually press from the power of your down into the earth to create your own upper. Do you feel it? It's cool. Create your own upper. You want to try it on the other side? Any other questions? I love it. It just, thank you. It helps to inform the room. Downward dog? Okay. Yoga is a question of what are you doing? Over and over and over again, how are you doing it? Ears wide, inner edges of your hands glue down into the earth as now keep that inhale up. Energetically hug your hands toward your biceps light up. Now keep that straight. Notice how you go to leg high to the sky. Bend your knees, stack your hips. Did something change in your hands? You have less foundation, you have less stability. Did one of your hands want to uproot? Can you ground it down? Take a breath in. Exhale, lizard lunge, left foot outside, left hand. Thanks, everybody. Back knee can come to the earth. So before you do anything, you can just see, like, what is my tendency here? Yeah, do you have that tendency to drop? Sometimes it's helpful to downward spiral, yeah? Here, not so. Hug your legs towards one another. It's going to create some energy, some life, some. Now, keep that. And if you need to, take one of your hands, probably your left hand, and find your right inner thigh. And take your right inner thigh up and back in space. Take your hand to the front of your right hip and notice if it got softer. Does that kind of make sense? And if you're like, I'm not sure, go back to what you did before. See how it changes things. Now with your left inner upper thigh, or right inner upper thigh going up and back, lengthen your left sitting bone back. Does that make sense? Then sitting bone down. Does that make sense? Does that make space for you? Left hand to left thigh. Inhale, get long. Exhale, twist your heart to the left. Yeah? Did your shoulder do that thing? Down and forward. Did your elbow do that thing? Not inherently wrong, but we got to make a choice. Both shoulders up and back. Maybe left fingertips to the sky. Maybe bend in your back leg. Maybe hand reach back, find foot. Watch the boing as you release, both hands inside your front leg. What is so real? The boing. The boing is real. Have your left hand underneath your left shoulder, and then walk your left hand half an inch forward. And by left hand, thank you all. Spread your fingers wide. Inner edge of your right hand down. Lift your back knee up. And then start to heel toe your front foot back on your mat, back on your mat. Turn your toes towards the flat edge of the wall. Left fingertips to the sky. Now, if you have that tendency to lock out, claw your thumb and first finger towards one another. Take your hand onto your hip. So do that, but without locking it out. Little bend, claw. Hand down, lift your hip up. Top arm overhead. Hands to the mat. Downward facing dog. How we do. Inhale. Hard. Life is hard. Bend your elbows, lower all. Inhale, heart forward and up. Cobra, baby cobra. Exhale, forehead to the mat. Take your arms long behind you, palms face down. Mariel's gonna be like, so what'd you teach when you taught for me? We did lizard for 90 minutes. And a weird side plank, it's all right. Press your hands down into the mat, take a big breath and get long from hips to armpits and then shoulders up and back, shoulders up and back. Press your feet down, inhale, lift your head, your heart, your hands, your locust pose. And here, you could even keep your feet connected to the earth and press your legs down and see if that gives you more leverage to lift your upper body. That's the way. And release with your breath. Let your forehead move to one side. Let your hips shimmy side to side. Option like we just did, or option to bend both legs. Hands reach back to find your feet, or strap, up to you. If you have your feet, hug your legs towards one another like you had an imaginary block between your legs. Think inner edges of your feet to the sky. Keep that. Your next inhale, kick feet back into the hands, heart open, your bow pose. And even knees down, kick your feet back, heart up. Head to the other side. Bend. Wiper side to side. And then long. Option to take a blanket right above your hip. So you'd roll, and I can show what and can tell you why. If you have a bolster works really well for this. But it's behind the blanket roll if you had a big breakfast. Bolster or blanket roll. It's low feet. Hug legs in. This way. So it just is there. And if you feel like you're rocking forward, just take the forward as well. I can talk you through, but just to show like where we're headed. So bolster or blanket on your frontal hip points, these little bony things, will be off of the prop. Just raise. We'll come by. Maybe reach back for your feet. Your legs towards center. Think thighs on the floor. Yes, that. And then hug your center. And the next time you inhale, press your knees down. your heart up. That's the way. That bolster gives you a little extra liftment. Jesse, you got to do it the other. What did you say? Yeah, take it on, see what that feels like. And then let it go as you're ready. Does anyone see, did anyone get a little? That's one of those poses that feel like a downward spiral. I'm just like, nothing's happening. Sometimes can help lift you up. Place your hands by the mat. Take yourself up to downward facing dog. And I take indirect requests around the room. Facing dog is very optional and is more so just to give you a little bend your knees. Is it okay to give you hands-on stones? Yeah. Press your hands down with knees very bent. Press your hands down and forward into the earth. Hips up and back towards the sky. You okay here? Mm-hmm. Breathe. Kai, if you stay, I'll get you too, okay? You can come down into tabletop, child's pose, full pranam. Press your hands down. Hips up and back. That's the way. How's that? Yeah. Start to make your way onto your backs. Heads towards the front of the room. Oh, is that your bolster or my bolster? Oh, no. Oh, good. Okay, perfect. I was like, I lost mine. It's fine. It's for you. Knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Of the room. If you have a strap, that could come in handy here. With knees bent, draw your right leg into your chest. Take your hands around the back of your right thigh, or take your strap over the ball mound on the right side. With left, extend right heel. You could keep your left leg bent, leg long. Caroline, is it okay to give the one? Yep. Yeah. You might even hand-to-hand check-in with the strap in your hand. You could take your right hand to your right hip crease, kind of like we did, and use your hand, your right hip. This one's just more of a leg. Let your right leg go all the way over to the left. Like take the twist. We're really pushing the bounds of my rights and lefts today. You're right. You could scooch more onto your left side body if you wanted. Props and people dependent. You could bend your bottom leg and with right find your left foot for Supta Parivrita Ardha Chandra Chapasana. Reclined, revolved, sugarcane dancing in the moonlight. Not what you feel like. If you have your foot back into hand, and then release your bottom foot, release. Meet the bottom of your mat. Oh. Notice what there is to notice. Make any noise to move the energy. Both. Or strap to big. And extend left heel to sky. It's okay to do a hands-on. A little. Hi, I missed you for a second, but I can get you here if you'd like. And maybe hand to foot. And but to feel our edges in a sustainable way there. Have foot, kick your foot into hand. And then with that left leg swing down to meet the other. Move the strap off to the side. Reach both arms overhead. Reach your toes towards the back of the room. Take a breath in, down and wide, to let it go. Time your inhale, reach fingertips up, reach toes away. Sniff in air through your nose, fill yourself up. Front, back, side to spine, and the spiral in between. Sniff in a little more air. Hug yourself around yourself. Side to side. Forward and back. Knees on, or both feet onto the mat. Take your feet as wide as your hips. Arms by your sides, out to a T, or a little low back love. As you inhale, take your next breath in. And as you inhale, knees through center. And over. Inhale, knees. Exhale, knees over to one side. And then move. Not my voice. Feeling your connection to the earth here. Right to left, left to right. Moment of glorious symmetry. But if you're moving with your breath, it may not last. Our concept of balance into a concept of symmetry. But what if it's what you're doing here? Being in the 70-30. Need to return. The next time your knees are at center, feet can go wide as your knees touch. Or a T, you could let just your head. And it's subtle. Staying in left of your neck. Chest. That might become a little spacious. Something in the mind you could soften to aid in that. Maybe head through center and then over to the left. Right shoulder heavy. And maybe a little space from right ear to that place where the right side of your neck and the collarbone, trapezius area, the base of your neck. From the right base of your neck to the top of your right shoulder. Head through center. And if there's anything you need to complete your practice, to tend to yourself, to uplift your spiral, you could take it now. It could look like happy baby. Some secret third thing. Rolling. Sock. Can't believe we're up for rest, for Shavasana. I love something under the knees in Shavasana. So it might mean rolling up a blanket, placing it on a couple blocks. It might mean some bolsters with a blanket roll under your knees. It might mean, hey, Adriana, what's a good idea here? Where it is, please be in a place where you can rest for a period of time. A heart bench. Under your knees. On your side, you could also sit. As I share, this will be asana, and I do not require you to stay fully time. Know that you can move. You can come up to sit. You can adjust as needed. But from where you are, invitation to observe. And is there anywhere or any way 1% comfortable, 1% more supported? World that says close enough is good enough. This time, right now, what you need to feel supported, to feel rest, take. If you're uncertain what that could look like, just raise a hand and I would. If you're adjusting or moving something, do that 50% slower. Feel free to call Melissa or I over. And I'll use my voice in this time that we have still together. Awareness through some of your legs, body breath, through earth, into your vast interior landscape within. As I said, you are tired to be quiet or to be still. Small movements can, or you're welcome to come up to a seat at any time. But as you settle in, feel all of the parts of you that are connected to the earth. You might feel heels, the back of your hips, the back of your heart, the back of your head. You might feel all of these points of contact between you and feel all of these points of connection between you and the earth. And the next time your physical body exhales, let something somewhere soften into the unwavering support of the earth beneath you. The earth who holds all of the power and depth, every state and shift of the ocean, so she can certainly hold you too. Feel her rise to meet you. Notice the parts of yourself that are open to the air, to the expansive sky above. As you find yourself here, placed with all that has been and all that is yet to be, you here breathing. Let your body breathe. Knowing the anchors of the earth, the air, the sounds, and the space are all here for you should you need. But as you let your body breathe, let your body be breathed. And as you let your body be breathed, let your breath be easeful. Like it takes just a little less effort to receive the grace. You could invite in soft ujjayi, that little constriction at the base of your throat that makes oftentimes in dynamic asana, we make it loud. But here, Shavasana, can you allow the sound to be subtle? As if only you can hear. And as you hear your own sacred sound, your own sacred vibration, the next time you inhale, draw your awareness from the crown of your head down, down, down to the base of your spine. As you exhale, draw the base up through the crown of your head. As you inhale, awareness descends all the way to base of spine. As you exhale, awareness rises from base of spine to crown of head. Can you hear your own sound? Can you offer your awareness to your breath? And then release the effort at the base. Let your breath, natural rhythm. As you let your breath return back to its natural rhythm. Notice your feet, both feet, and let both feet soften into the earth. Notice your lower legs and upper legs. And let your legs soften and be heavy. The earth. Notice the front of your hips, the sides of your hips, and the back of your hips. And let your hips soften back to the earth. Sides of your waist, low and mid back. Let all of the space around your belly soften back to the earth. Your chest, sides of waist, mid and upper back, all of the area around your heart, soften back to earth. Your arms, soften. Your hands, soften back to earth. The front of your neck, the sides and back, soften back to earth. The features of your face, side of your head, the back of the head, the top of your head, your whole head, soften back to earth. Feel the front of your body soften into the back of your body. Back of your soft, widen, back to earth. Your body, whole body, your whole body, every layer of your being, seen and unseen, your whole body soften. Back to earth, let your whole body rest here. your whole body. With your whole body here at rest. With your whole body here breathing. Let your body breathe. Start to sense that your next inhalation could be received through every pore on your skin. And sense your next exhalation could be released through every fiber of your being. Slowly beginning to re-engage with your breath. Letting your breath call you back down to earth. Call you back from the earth. Bless. To place you in the here and now. This precarious moment between all that has been and all that is yet to be, where you were placed with purpose. Let your breath begin to in your toes and fingers. Let those small movements stretch into your legs and arms. Maybe let your head a little side to side. Yourself in any way, any layer of your being requires to reawaken. The next time you inhale, you might reach both arms overhead. As you exhale, give yourself your arms around yourself. A moment of holding yourself held. Maybe you turn to blow or give each shoulder a little kiss, a little thank you for this body, this vessel that carried you through every day so far. You can inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, knees to belly for a hug. Roll to one side. And start to press yourself up to and through a seat. Any comfortable way of being. Eyes closed, hands anywhere on your body that feels like center in front of your heart or on. Coming back to our initial intention of invitation, notice if any shifts have come. Taking this time to move and breath and ground and unground here together on a Sunday morning. To invite ourselves into a awareful response. And if there have been any positive shifts, even if, especially if they are subtle, can you place them before you as a guide as you prepare to step off of your mat and back out into your daily life? We'll seal in our time together with one more sound of Om. We'll take a breath and then inhale for Om. Your next inhale to fill and expand. Your exhale up and out. Your next inhale. Bow to your heart, bow to your center, bow to yourself, bow to each other. Thank you so much for being. I bow to each and every one of you. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. If there are any questions, comments, conundrums, concerns about anything offered on the mat, feel free to let me know. I have a couple minutes. Otherwise, maybe I'll see you around. I'm going to see some of you later. I've got a if you like the end, we're going to do that for 2 hours this afternoon, so you're welcome to join. If you want to practice again, I have some subs coming a little bit class and here and there, so I'll be around, and if not, cool, enjoy the studio, and I'll see you sometime. Bye, thanks. Oh, can I take